Morning, everyone. Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? It's a lovely Saturday here in Washington State. Today's April 30th, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the final day of the month. That's right. Absolutely. And this month will not end with a bang. It'll end with a whimper. Because today is basically a chill day of streaming. There's not too much crazy over-the-top excitement or anything like that on the streams today. We're actually continuing on with two relatively chill playthrough streams with a lot of interaction, which is fine, because you could definitely call this the calm before the storm if you take a look at what's coming up. All right. In fact, on today's PreStream podcast, all right, it's time to outline the next 3 weekends, because for the next 3 weekends, every week, we're going to be doing something hype and interesting. Okay. Hope you guys are ready. I'm also going to announce right now on the PreStream podcast the DSP, or I guess I should say the Dark Side Phil 1 year return to YouTube anniversary celebration. That's right. There's a special event coming up. Battle Duck says, I nearly fell off my chair. You shouldn't reveal yourself so suddenly. No wonder turtles keep crapping in here. Sorry, I should have eased in. I should have shown just my hand, right, on camera, and then slowly my whole arm starts to reveal itself on camera all the way up to the shoulder, and then all of a sudden, like, my ear, and then maybe one eyeball pops over, like, oh, and a slow reveal. Maybe a slow screen white, because it's too much at once to just see all of me at once. I know you guys can't take it. You know, it's overwhelming. I understand. What some people do, they take glasses, all right, and they put them on. They tape one eye of the glasses so they can only see me with one eye at a time. That way, it's a slow immersion process. Oh my God. Anyway, excuse me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to officially announce that in 2 weeks' time, that would be on Saturday, May 14th, okay? We're going to do something special here on stream. It is going to be the Dark Side Phil 1 year return to YouTube anniversary celebration. And we're going to do some really special stuff on that day, including one of the things you guys are all waiting for, but we're going to do some extra special stuff on that day as well, and I will talk about that in just a moment, all right? But the question here is, how are you guys? I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you are in a good mood, and you're ready for chill fun today, because today's going to be a very chill day, okay? Nothing too stressful or crazy. We're going to continue on with 2 chill playthroughs, which is good. But then tomorrow, it's the complete polar opposite. Like, seriously. Tomorrow is definitely kind of the big hype day for the weekend. My goal here is that for 3 straight weeks, I want to have something hype going on my weekend streams. So this weekend, it's tomorrow, which we'll talk about why. Next weekend, it's going to be either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how things go during the week. And then the week after, it's going to be that Saturday, the 14th, will be the 1 year return to YouTube celebration. Okay? So, boom, boom, boom. All right? Good stuff coming up. Also, as of tomorrow, all right, the new members goal will come into effect for the month of May. And we're going to begin to talk about what you guys would like to see as the next upcoming DSP Reacts project, because the members goal is going to be, if we hit it, you guys determine what it is. It's going to be a poll of different possibilities, and you guys will vote on the one you want to see the most, okay? Pretty cool. Sandy, I would say, at this point, being back on YouTube wholeheartedly, I would say yes. I do enjoy being here on YouTube more than Twitch. To be on Twitch, you do get a lot of advantages. Number one, Twitch is known as the biggest video sharing, or excuse me, the biggest live streaming website in the world. That's where everyone goes to find people who are live streaming. The discoverability over there is much better than it is on YouTube. And the stream chat, in particular, the monetization of, say, subscriptions has better features. You know, things like channel points, being able to use emotes in other people's chats if you're a subscriber of someone else, etc. But The trade-off is that when you're on Twitch, you have to deal with complete unprofessionalism of the business itself. At any moment, they break their own terms of service and will suspend or punish you for things they don't even prove that you did. Essentially, it's like, over there, it's a crapshoot. You could basically go under the radar and be lucky and work for years and years and have no problems, and then overnight they shut you all down just because they feel like it. And who wants to work at a place like that, right? Imagine if you were working at a job, an office job, and you're just sitting there, you're doing your job, you're getting paid, everything's fine, and then after 4.5, 5 years, someone walks up to you and says, okay, you're out. Wait, what do you mean I'm out? Well, we did an investigation. We found out that you're doing stuff we don't like. You're out of here. Well, wait, what are you talking? What stuff? What are you talking about? Bye. Wait, no, answer me. What did I do wrong? Nope, you're out. Bye. And they grab you and they throw you out on the street. That's Twitch. That's literally what happened to me a year ago. They just threw me out and said, oh, well, you want to make a living here? Too bad. Well, you could stay here if you want, but we're not going to pay you for the work. You can continue to do work if you'd like. That's fine. Stay here, stay at your desk and keep working, but no more paychecks. Oh. But why? What did I do? Oh, we're not telling you. Get out, you know. Oh, okay. It's a great place to work, isn't it? So, it does suck, though, admittedly, because being on Twitch, you get the added exposure. You get the added views, right? You get a lot of added stuff, right? So, oh, someone just said they sent me a song. I didn't get it. When did you send the song? Meow says they sent me a song. When did you send it? I didn't see it in my email. It's very possible that it hit my spam folder. Are you sure you sent it to darksidephil@hotmail.com? Because I did not see it. But if you could tell me when you sent it, maybe it did hit my spam folder and I can check. Because you know, stuff in spam folder stays for several days. Yeah, please give me more information. No, I was not banned multiple times from Twitch. I was never banned from Twitch. Not once. I was suspended a few times because their suspension process, again, is unprofessional and ridiculous. All of a sudden, you'll just be suspended. What did I do? What are you talking about? Isn't there... It's supposed to be a stages of escalation process? There is, but they don't use it. Anyway. Yes, that was the tip. I just said, Meow had done a tip, a $1.50 tip, and said they had submitted a song. Yes. Okay. So, that being said, in the last year that I've basically worked on YouTube, right? There's a lot of advantages to being here. At the same time, there's a lot of disadvantages. It's kind of a trade-off. You know, on YouTube, you don't have to feel like you're walking on eggshells. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm here doing stuff on YouTube, I don't have to be like, man, God forbid that I say something that sounds wrong and I didn't mean it that way, or someone clips a snippet of my stream or video and reposts it to represent something it's not, and then tries to false report me to YouTube. You know, people try that shit all the time. They false flag my videos. They try to report me. It doesn't work on YouTube. You know what I mean? You have to actually do something wrong to be punished on YouTube. And one thing I'm certainly happy to report, it seems that YouTube's copyright system has gotten at least a little better when it comes to the false stuff. The content ID system is still terrible, all right? But luckily, in the last year that I've been here on YouTube, even playing games that I knew had copyrighted music in them, I didn't receive any copyright strikes, right? So that's a good thing, because at one point people were completely abusing Twitch's system, false flagging my streams, and they just granted every single false claim without even reviewing it. At one point, I'm not even kidding you, Twitch took down my stream, claiming I had violated someone's copyright for a game I wasn't even playing on the stream. They didn't even review the claim. They just took my stream down. That's how unprofessional they are at Twitch. And it's hilarious because so many people use it. It's known as like the biggest, best place to stream. And literally it's the most unprofessional. It's terrible over there. So that being said, being on YouTube for a year, it's been a rough ride. Those first few months in particular, 2-3 months starting up, was really rough. But what's happened is over the year, things have just gotten progressively better and better and better. I've improved the product that I put out based on your direct feedback. So thank you so much, everyone, for all the feedback you give me on a daily basis, the suggestions, the events and things that we're doing as a result of you guys suggesting them, right? And, you know, we've done our best with what's available here on YouTube, right? We've done our best. When I say we, I mean me, you, and my moderating team, to try to put out a safe, fun environment for streaming every day. It's hard because they doesn't have all the tools and all the things that you have on Twitch. You really can't even, see, like, for example, right now, let's say someone that types something questionable in the chat. And you're like, gee, I wonder what that meant, what they meant by that. Could that have been something harmful? I'm just curious. On Twitch, you click on their name, it shows you their whole chat history. So you can see, do they have a history of saying dumb shit in the chat and being insulting or whatever? Or was this a one-off thing, or was this a misunderstanding? You could review that history. You could even see, have they ever been banned before or whatever? None of that exists on YouTube. Zero. Nothing like that at all. On YouTube, you can't permanently ban someone. They can come in, be stupid, you ban them, they create another account, come right back. You see? That's why I have to have things in place on YouTube to help protect the channel, like sub-only mode and things like that. It just is really dumb that YouTube doesn't step up and actually try to compete with Twitch, because I really don't feel like they have. If they could, within a month of work, and yes, it would take work, but within a month of work, they could completely improve and redesign the streaming process here on YouTube to make it equivalent to Twitch. I fully believe that. But they're too busy with their fucking attention on stupid fake TikTok videos and shorts and doing all kinds of dumb shit that doesn't benefit people who make a living here. Instead, they just want to nonsensically try to copy every website on the planet. And what it is they get an idea and they start with it and they don't go through with it. You know what I'm saying? They half think of an idea, launch the idea, and never finish it. They wanted to compete with Twitch. They said, here's streaming. They launch it, but then they never refine it to be as good as Twitch. They just kind of leave it as is and they work on other projects. And you'll never succeed like that. You can't just get the ball rolling and lead it to just roll itself and never expect that you need to ever touch the ball ever again. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the deal is that I really have enjoyed being here for the last year. As rough as it is, making stuff work similarly to how the competition does. Although admittedly, as you guys have seen, you know, viewership, it can be way low, especially for a game that's not a huge AAA release, because there's no exposure here on YouTube. I tell you guys how important engagement is, right? That liking the videos, liking the streams, leaving comments on them, those things are huge for engagement. If you don't do those things, you can't even be found on YouTube. And of course, on YouTube, there's the toxic element. People being nasty, toxic, and insulting actually will have priority in a YouTube search over the original content that it's being toxic and insulting against. Every time. It's not even an exception. Like, every time you'll find the drama video, the drama documentary, the insult video, all that will always come up first before the subject matter. It's really stupid. But it is what it is. You got to deal with it if you're going to be on YouTube. And the trade-off is, I don't have to deal with the unprofessionalism of Twitch. Oh, at any moment you get punished for something you didn't do. Oh, you're punished, but we're not even going to tell you what you did. Fuck off. I don't want to deal with a place like that. I'll take all the shortcomings of YouTube streaming and work here. I've been here for now almost a full year doing it and had little to no problems, right? As opposed to on Twitch, at least a few times a year I would have something stupid happening over there, you know? So, there you go. Okay, Meow, I see your second tip. I will take a look at it later. I will have to give a look at it later. And I don't think I know I didn't see it. Very possibly that hit my spam folder. When did you send it? Was it within the last 24 hours or was it before then? Because I need to know how far back to look in my spam, because I have hundreds and hundreds of spams I get a day. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. We're going to do a special event in 2 weeks. That's going to celebrate my 1-year anniversary of being a full-time content creator, both streaming and on-demand videos here on YouTube. I don't want to get too far into it on today's pre-stream podcast because that's going to be a big subject matter we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks, okay? But that being said, let's now talk about what we're doing today and for the rest of the streaming week. Let's talk about the big 3 hype weekends coming up, okay? Okay. Today, chill day. Like I said, today's kind of the calm before the storm, all right? Today, the first gameplay stream is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. We are in the 3rd and final trilogy of movies, the modern trilogy, and we've started with The Force Awakens. It's fun. I'm having a great time in the open world exploring, finding the hidden objects and the like. And we are, I think, at least 2 story missions, if not 3. We might actually be 3 story missions now into the game. So probably 2 more story missions to finish this movie, and then we're on to the next one, which is, I believe, The Last Jedi, right? Okay. So we're getting there. Oh, I misspelled the title of the stream, did I? Let me see. I might have. People are saying that I left out a 2 or something. You're absolutely right. April 30th, 202. So apparently I'm streaming in the year 202, which would be a pretty big, amazing accomplishment. All right, I fixed it. Thank you for telling me that I forgot that. Bruisey, thank you. Anyway. So yeah, we're almost at the end of LEGO. We've got to finish The Force Awakens. We're probably going to start The Last Jedi today. I would think another stream to probably go through The Last Jedi. And then one more stream for the final movie, which is interesting because I never saw it. I never saw The Rise of Skywalker. So this will be all first time stuff for me in the plot. I won't even understand what's going on. I'll be, experiencing it with all of you. Maybe I'll finally see why people say that the trilogy sucks and the ending is terrible. Okay? And then after that, if there's extra time on a stream, I may just try to do a little bit of open world stuff and see exactly what opens up after you beat the game, because I guess you could go to any world you want and go with any characters you want and just try to solve all the open world puzzles. Now, by the way, I'm not going to do multiple streams of that. It's just like, let's say we finish Rise of Skywalker, and there's an hour or 2 hours of extra time on that particular stream, then we'll go do the open world stuff, and that'll be the finale of the playthrough, okay? If you're not aware, it's already over 20 hours long to play through. The playthrough's been great, in my opinion. I'm really enjoying that when we're playing this, you guys are helping me understand the lore and stuff that I never even understood. Yeah, right? You guys have been telling me all this supplemental stuff about the universe and everything. Wow, I never knew that. All I did was watch the movies a few times. And I did read the comic book, Shadows of the Empire comic books, in the 90s. So I have some supplemental information about the canon from the 90s until they retconned it all for these modern movies. Okay? So I've been having a great time with this. I hope you guys are too. I can't wait. This is going to be a nice stream. I know it will be. Okay? Now, later tonight, we're doing another chill stream, although admittedly it won't be nearly as chill as this LEGO one, I'm sure. We're doing I Am Fish endgame content. What I mean by that, it's the final stage for the piranha fish and the final stage for the flying fish. In particular, the flying fish stages are very frustrating. They are challenging. There's very difficult jumps and leaps and puzzles you have to figure out. And this is the last one, so you have to think that it's going to be incredibly challenging and probably the hardest thing in the game, okay? So tonight's stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time will be fun, but also interactive. Those streams are very interactive. We have fun conversation when I'm playing I Am Fish. And there is a secret final stage, all right? However, to get it, you need to earn 40 stars over the course of all the regular stages of the game. Problem is, I'm about to finish the game. There's only 2 stages left, and I've only got like 22 stars or something like that. So even after tonight, after beating those stages, maybe I'll have like 25, 26. Where am I going to get the rest from? And people are like, oh, you got to go back to the other stages and grab the pieces of bread you didn't get the first run. Because it's actually impossible to get all of the bread in one run. You have to replay certain stages to grab the hidden bread items, and it'll give you more stars. But I really don't know realistically if I want to go back and do that. I've enjoyed the game, don't get me wrong. Do I want to sit here on a collection quest that takes 2-3 streams to grab every piece of bread just to finally unlock, a secret stage 6 hours later? Probably not. Let's see how it goes tonight, all right? Let's play it by ear. Let's see how it goes on the late stream, and we'll go from there. I'm not promising anything, but I'm also not going to say I'm writing it off and saying there's no way I'm doing it. I'll just say, let's see how it goes and take it from there once we get there, okay? Randy Disher says, is there a chance for an I Am Bread stream? Well, interestingly enough, Surgeon Simulator is on Game Pass, and I added it as a game that I want to play later, and apparently Surgeon Simulator is the game that started it all. It's the one that started this series of games. So maybe we would try that. It looks absolutely ridiculous. There's body parts flying everywhere, putting brains inside of stomachs. I'm like, what the frick is this? Okay? I don't think I Am Bread was on there. I'd be interested in I Am Bread. If it's anything like I Am Fish, I'd be interested in I Am Bread. But we'll see. I don't want to do too much. The thing is, when I play a game like this, okay, all of a sudden people are like, oh, that's pretty good. Can you do another one? Can you do another one? It's like, well, wait. The problem is it's called oversaturation. If I keep doing the same style of game back to back, people get burnt out on it. I've done this a few times before in the past. Excuse me. With franchises like Mario, Grand Theft Auto, if I'm playing too much back-to-back, people get pissed and bored and don't want to see it anymore. So for now, let's finish I Am Fish. We'll play it by ear. Maybe in the future we will play other games from the same studio. I'd be interested in doing so, okay? Okay. All right, so continuing on. Tomorrow is the big day. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, Sunday, May 1st. All right? First of all, first day of a new month, we'll have a new members goal set up. It's going to be exciting in that regard. It's going to feel like fresh and everything's starting new, right? But tomorrow is the big day, the day you've all been waiting for from the moment that I booted up Elden Ring over 2 months ago. This is the stream you've wanted. This is the stream you're asking for. This is the main event. Tomorrow, I go mano a mano with Melania, the Blade of Michelob. Mikola. Weird that it's pronounced that way. It looks like Mikela, but apparently it's Mikola. Anyway, that's tomorrow's stream. And when I say that's tomorrow's stream, I mean I expect all 3 gameplay hours of tomorrow's stream to be this boss fight. So far in the boss fight, I've gotten her down to about maybe 40% health, but then she always does that crazy, stupid flurry attack that I can't seem to avoid, and it kills me, and she gets a ton of health back when she does it. So until I figure out how to avoid that attack, I don't know how I'm going to beat her. And the funny thing is, people are like, why don't you try a different strategy? I don't need a different strategy. My strategy works. I'm dealing effective damage until she uses that attack, and then I just die. I need to figure out what you're supposed to do when she does that attack. It could be that you're supposed to unlock the camera and run straight forward. It could be that you're supposed to unlock the camera, run backward, do a double flip, jump, and flop around like a fish on the ground. Maybe there's an emote where you lay flat like a pancake and she just passes over you gracefully. I don't know. As you guys know, I'm not cheating. I'm not looking shit up. I'm just trying to do it legit, and that's my problem, is that when you're doing it legit in a game like this, and you're not summoning, which I'm not, I'm challenging myself to not summon, so there's nothing to distract her from me. So it's very, 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 very challenging in that regard. That's the one problem right now, is beating that one flurry attack. I feel like if I could get past the flurry attack, I would have already gotten to her second form and probably beaten her, quite frankly. I just need to figure this out, okay? Now also, there's various things I can do to improve my damage output. Right now, I'm using a very underpowered build that was a build that I created several streams ago just to mess around and do the gold mask plotline, which is an NPC in the game, that you get an ending when you do this plotline. I needed a high intelligence rating. I don't need a high intelligence rating. I could go back to my old build, which was Faith, and that was dealing way more damage than this build was. Plus, when I was using the golden halberds, they had more range. So maybe now I could hit even better because I am missing a lot in this boss fight. So maybe I could get a lot more hits in. Okay? So, let's see how it goes. It's going to be very exciting. Just to forewarn everyone, being that this entire stream is the subject matter, is this boss fight, and it's what everyone wanted to see. Arguably, everyone says it's the hardest FromSoft boss ever made. It's probably going to take the whole stream. If you remember when I fought Orphan of Kos, that took several hours. It was like 2 hours of learning the pattern, figuring out how to dodge every attack, and then once I figured it out, I basically destroyed the boss. But it took hours of practice to figure it out. You see? So, we shall see how it goes tomorrow. I might take the entire stream to beat her. I may beat her quick by luck, or I may not even beat her at all on the stream. We're going to find out. If I do beat her, there's still content left in the game. There's still the final dungeon of the game, which is apparently lengthy and challenging. And then apparently the end of the game is going to have a bunch of bosses, and then you have to choose your ending. Okay? So we're going to see how it goes. We could very well get through it and then move on to the rest of the game, or it could be just this big roadblock that I can't get past, and it takes me actual multiple streams to beat her. We'll see. I can't even predict it because it's so wonky and hit or miss with me when I play these games. Sometimes I turbo through something, and sometimes it just takes me forever. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm excited for that tomorrow, okay? Then, tomorrow night, the late stream, Skyrim After Hours, we just arrived in the Dragonborn DLC, which is the land of Solstheim. Although, if you were to believe the Xbox achievement system. I arrived in Solstheim last night when I was playing Street Fighter 3 Third Strike in a subway of New York City. So apparently Solstheim, New York is a popular place to be. And all the street fights take place there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was the weirdest thing. Apparently you get an achievement for arriving in Solstheim, which is the location of this Dragonborn DLC and Skyrim Anniversary Edition. But it didn't trigger. It didn't trigger till last night when I was playing Street Fighter. It popped up in the middle of my match, completely distracted me, and I lost. I was like, oh, dude, how am I supposed to concentrate now? It's hilarious. So I have no idea why that happened or what the heck causes these glitches and issues with the achievement system. But anyway, tomorrow night, more Skyrim fun. And here's the thing. As we started this DLC, last time I played Skyrim a few nights ago, I was kind of scratching my head and I was like, I really don't remember this. I don't recall this DLC at all. And I wonder why. So I went back to figure out why, and I looked up my original playthrough. I completely and utterly rushed through the Dragonborn DLC when it came out in February 2013. I did no side content at all. I literally only did the main plot line, which takes about 4 hours. So I basically sat down and did a 4-hour gameplay session. This was before I live streamed, and I uploaded those videos, and I skipped everything. People are saying that this DLC has anywhere from 15 to 20 hours of content, and I missed like 80% of it because I'm an idiot, essentially. Back then, as I told you guys yesterday, and I don't want to completely reiterate what I said yesterday, back then I was a completely different kind of content creator. It was about being the first person to play on new release or DLC and pump the playthrough of it out on the internet right away. Don't take my time. Don't really fully explore. Just get the videos out for maximum viewership, okay? And then on to the next. Always on to the next, on to the next. And at that point, in 2013, is when I started to get heavy criticism. People telling me, man, you're a dinosaur. You're playing games in a really bad way. People don't want that kind of content anymore. They want more fleshed out, more detailed content. They want a better gameplay experience that shows all the content of something you're playing. They don't want you to just rush through. Like, what's the point of completely rushing through a game if you're not really going to play it? You know, if you're literally playing it just to make a gameplay video and you're skipping most, if not all, of the significant content, why even bother? And that was a really, really valid criticism. Although back then, I used to be an asshole. Okay? I can admit this now, at least. But back then, I was obstinate. I was stubborn. I was basically like, nah, my shit doesn't stink and my stuff's great. So if you don't like it, oh well, just don't watch it. Instead of being like, okay, that's a pretty valid criticism. Let me accept it and let me see how I can implement it to improve myself. I wasn't like that back then. I was an asshole. Okay? Today, you tell me stuff like that. I'm like, hey, let's think about it. Let's see what we can do. Can I improve? Can I implement that in what I do on a daily basis to make my streams and my gameplay better for you guys? Back then, I was the complete opposite, man. It was so different. So I'm looking back at when I originally played the Dragonborn DLC, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is crap. I will admit that, like, this is garbage content. This is just rush, rush, rush. Oh, I'm done. In fact, I even say that in the videos, too. If you watch the videos, it's like, I admit that I'm cramming in my coverage of the DLC in the middle of other things that I'm doing, and I'm not particularly wanting to do it that much, but people asked for it. So I said, because you guys asked, I'm cramming this in. And then I beat it, and after I beat the story in 4 hours, I'm like, all right, so it's kind of good. And it looks like there's a lot of stuff there if you guys want to do it. It's great content, but I'm on to the next. Wow. What a shit attitude that I had back then, you know? Really, that's such a bad attitude. And it did change a bit that year because that was the year that later that year I implemented direct capture and live streaming. So things did change a lot. That if I was playing a game and doing that kind of stuff when I live stream, people would basically give me shit for it, you know, in the chat. So, that being said, I'm excited to check out Dragonborn tomorrow. And I hope that you guys will join me tomorrow night for the late stream for that, okay? That'll be a good way to unwind after the stress of fighting Millennia all day. Seriously. Then on Monday, what are we doing? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a schedule update for everybody, okay? This coming Monday, May 2nd, we're doing more Elden Ring. Wait, what? I'm doing Elden Ring back-to-back? Yes, the answer is yes. I'm playing Elden Ring twice in a row. And if you're wondering why I'm playing Elden Ring twice in a row, it's because later on in the week, May 4th, which is the day I'll be back from break, because Tuesday is my break as usual. May 4th is May the 4th, which is traditionally a day when people celebrate Star Wars, right? May the 4th be with you. See? And so, I want to play Lego Star Wars on that day. Well, if I play Lego Star Wars on Monday, and I have a day off, I don't want to play Lego Star Wars again on Wednesday. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Elden Ring on Sunday, okay? And then we're going to do Elden Ring on Monday as well. So if I don't beat Millennia tomorrow, I'm continuing the pain on Monday. Okay? My goal, hopefully, here is to beat Millennia by Monday. Like, I really wish that within 2 whole streams, 6 hours, I will get the pattern down, whether it's my current build or a new build or whatever I need to do. By hook, by crook, by any means necessary, I want to beat her. Now, does that mean I'm going to cheap out and immediately summon? No. That's like absolutely, positively worst case scenario. Let's say I'm really defeated and I just can't do it, right? I just can't. I admit defeat. I admit I'm not good enough. Then I will summon. But I'm telling you, I feel like I can beat her. I've beaten every other challenge thrown against me in any FromSoft game up to this point. I feel like I can beat her. I just need to find a way around the overpowered bullshit, the flurry attack bullshit. I need to figure out a way to stop it, okay? So let's see what happens, okay? All right. So Monday, more Elden Ring. If it's Millennia, great. If not, it'll be the final dungeon, I guess, okay? And then Monday night, we are going to finish up the Bug Snacks Isle of Big Snacks DLC that I started yesterday on the main stream. For those of you who didn't attend and didn't care, it's supposed to be a 2 to 3 hour DLC, but exactly what I suspected did happen yesterday. Number one, I booted up the game, and I haven't played it in a year and a half, and there was a ton of updates to the game in the last year and a half, including having your own house built and customizing it. It took me like 45 minutes just to get through that, and then get kind of accustomed to the controls and how the game plays again. So by the time I got into the meat of the DLC, I was having a ton of fun, but we ran out of time, only doing like half the missions in the DLC. So I figure one more night stream of 2 hours should be long enough to beat it. In fact, we did catch the majority of the new Bug Snacks. There's 3 we didn't catch yet. So we're on our way. But it should be interesting to jump back in and finish it up. I really enjoyed it. If you liked my original Bug Snacks playthrough and you missed out yesterday, you want to check it out. It's pretty darn good. I really like this DLC. Okay? Okay. So, exciting week, right? Exciting streaming week coming up. I'm not here on Tuesday. When I come back on Wednesday, it'll be May the 4th. So on May the 4th will be with you as I play Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga next. And it should be a good time. All Star Wars themed stuff, right? And then that night, I think it's going to be more Skyrim. And then we'll continue on in the week. Now, if everything goes according to plan and I beat Millennia, likely, I'm actually going to finish Elden Ring this week. It's a likely occurrence that it's going to happen because after, like I said, after Millennia, there's just the final dungeon, a boss gauntlet or whatever, and that's the end of the game. You choose your ending. So then, guess what? I can finally review the game, which I promised you guys I would do. I said I would actually do a full formal review of Elden Ring. That's going to be a lot different than other people's because I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to kiss the game's butt. I'm not going to forgive all its flaws and give it a 10 out of 10. It's ridiculous. Okay? So, should be a fun occurrence, and I plan, if things go according to plan, I plan on reviewing Elden Ring next weekend. Now, I'm not sure if it would be Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. It depends on how things go with how I beat the game and everything. But I'm definitely planning on reviewing it next weekend. Okay? So there you go. Now, what's going to happen once I start beating all these games? Well, there's a new game coming out this week called Trek to Yomi. I'm excited to try it out. It's this black and white, almost film noir style samurai game. And it's on Game Pass, and it looks good, and people are talking about it, so I'm excited. I want to try that out. Once we beat either Elden Ring or Lego, I'm going to start WWE 2K22, a game that you've wanted for many, many, many months. I say many, many, it's been 2 months. And we're going to do all the interesting modes, like the showcase story mode, and then we're going to do my career, where I create my own wrestler and go through there. I'll be honest, though, I really hope that people will actually attend and support the WWE streams, because in previous years, I play them a couple times, and then people just complain it's boring, it's the same thing over and over. The way that people have been asking for WWE, screaming for it, you got to do it, I'm excited to do it, but I really hope that people will actually show up, and it's not just people yelling and screaming because they want something different, and then they won't actually watch it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Also in the month of May, there's an Evil Dead game coming out around the middle of the month that I'm interested in. End of May, there's several different games coming out that I'm interested in. So it should be a good month with a good variety of stuff, okay? Now, as I said, every weekend I'm planning on doing something hype. This weekend, it's the Millennia fight in Elden Ring. Next weekend, it's going to be the review of Elden Ring, okay? The weekend after, May 14th, Saturday, 2 weeks from today, it is the Darkside Phil 1 year return to YouTube anniversary celebration. It will be a marathon style, meaning it will not be two separate directed streams towards two games. Instead, it's going to be a full day of streaming fun. What will we be doing? Well, there'll be a fun pre-stream podcast. We will order food because, ladies and gentlemen, I will be doing an episode of Feasting with the King during that celebration. That being said, we got to start thinking of cuisine so that you guys can vote on the type of cuisine that I'm going to order for that episode of Feasting with the King, okay? So start thinking about it, all right? And within the next, likely the next week, we will have opportunity to determine what the cuisines will be, and then we'll have a poll going where people will vote to determine what we're going to do, okay? Cool. In addition, that will be the day that I am going to do, live on stream, DSP Reacts to Darkside Phil Down the Rabbit Hole, okay? That's when we're doing it, during that special 1 year anniversary event. It's only a 30-minute video, but being that this is a video about me, and it's a video that I can add a lot to, okay? I know I can add a lot of explanation, a lot of additional information. I can tell you what's truthful and what's not. A lot of it is definitely truthful. You're going to be hearing me admitting to stuff and giving a ton of supplemental information on things that people have talked about for a decade, essentially. So it should really be an interesting event for sure, okay? So that's basically going to be the pre-stream podcast and then ordering food for Feasting with the King. Then it's going to be DSP Reacts to the Down the Rabbit Hole about me. Then we're going to do Feasting with the King, all right, where we'll eat a meal together of some kind of a cuisine that I don't usually eat, and I'll be reviewing it live, you know, live meal together. And then there'll be a kind of a final second half segment, and I'm not sure what we're going to do for that segment. It could be gameplay. It could be something else. I don't even know. I'm not sure yet what I want to do for that. We could talk about it over the next 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to figure this out. Is it maybe a certain game you guys would like to see, right? What is it that you guys would like to see during that day? Let's talk about it for the second half of it, all right? Or maybe what we could do is have a bunch of games eligible and you vote to determine what game or games you want to see at the end of the stream. We'll see. I definitely would like your input on this, okay? Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. The 1 year return to YouTube anniversary spectacular. There's going to be some nice retrospection where I'll talk about the last year and how things went and what I like about being on YouTube and what I don't like about being on YouTube, you know, as a full-time content creator. And then we'll have all kinds of fun stuff on that stream. It's going to be a good one, okay? So, I am excited for that, and I hope that you guys are too. It's going to be a good month. May will be a good month for content for sure. Good variety of finishing stuff up, hype new events, new big playthroughs, all kinds of fun stuff, okay? How long was I away from YouTube? My streams were off of YouTube for almost 5 years. I believe I finally returned to Twitch. Here's what happened. When I first started streaming in 2013, I was streaming on Twitch. Back then, it didn't matter where you streamed because there was no real monetization options at all. It didn't, you know, there was no real difference. And everyone was streaming on Twitch back then, so I streamed on Twitch for about a year and a half. And then in the fall of 2014, as I was streaming on Twitch, Twitch staff yelled at me, telling me that I was streaming at too high of a bitrate and lower my bitrate right away or I was going to be in trouble. And I was like, I'm just streaming at the same bitrate as all the big streamers on Twitch, and you're going to yell at me specifically? Like, why are you singling me out? That doesn't seem like fair treatment. Twitch, they responded, oh, you're making that up. Of course, I wasn't. Many Twitch streamers back then were streaming at a higher bitrate. So I told them, basically, fuck off, I'm leaving. I don't want to be here and be persecuted because you guys are being unfair and stupid. So I went to YouTube, and on YouTube there were no limitations on the quality, and I streamed on YouTube for about 2 years. It was like that fall of 2014 all the way through late 2016. What was the bitrate? It was very low. I believe at the time I was streaming at maybe like 6,000 kilobits per second, and they were yelling at me saying that I should be streaming at 3,500. 3,500 for HD video? It's a tall order. It looks like shit, okay? Basically, I was playing a game. I was playing an Assassin's Creed game, and it looked terrible. Like it was being pixelated and stuff because I was in, high areas of foliage, trees, and everything. And so I had a higher bitrate just for that game in particular, and then they yelled at me for it because they're assholes. So, I went to YouTube for 2 years, and I live streamed on YouTube. Problem is, back then, YouTube was pretty much like almost impossible to maintain a stream with the tools that YouTube gave you. The chat on YouTube wasn't even, you see how the chat is today? It's like a running chat room or a list of comments. It wasn't even like that. It was like terrible. You couldn't moderate it. It was completely uncontrollable. So I ended up having my own chat room that someone coded for me, and people would go to that chat and talk in there while the stream played on a web page. It was pretty interesting the way I did it. It was very guerrilla style. And I did that for about 2 years. And at that point, it was late 2016, and I saw that sadly YouTube was basically kind of starting to demonetize a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of issues creeping up with doing YouTube as a full-time job at that point. And by the way, even though I was a streamer, I should make this clear, I was not focused on streaming. Streaming was just I called it fan service. If you want to attend live, you can, but I'm focused on the on-demand videos. I play in the style that I'm making on-demand videos. I don't really interact with my audience. I just sit here and record. Like, literally, that's what I did, and it was so dumb. 2013 to 2017, I ignored my audience. You want to talk about stupid. Now I can look back and say, man, that was stupid. But back then, I didn't understand the capacity of having interaction, like what how much it adds to the content. Really, I just didn't understand it. And then it took 2017. What happened was it was the big crash on YouTube. The adpocalypse happened. They lost half of their advertisers overnight. It became impossible to make a living on ad revenue anymore. So that's when I decided to be a full-time streamer. And that's when I committed to full-time streaming on Twitch. And I full-time streamed on Twitch from early 2017 all the way to last year. So over 4 years. It was like just over 4 years where I was a full-time streamer on Twitch. And then all this bullshit happened to me completely unfairly. No explanation to this day. And I decided to come to YouTube full time. And now here I am for 1 year now. It's going to be. In May, I'll hit the 1 year point where I've done everything here on DSPGaming. The streams, the on-demand videos, all the effort has been on this channel. And by the way, the channel has grown in the last year. Now, it's not huge growth because that's the problem with YouTube. The discoverability is almost impossible. And getting people to get out of a habit is very hard. The habit was always just watch content on DSPGaming and dip. Now it's like, no, I need you to stay here, like the videos, leave comments, engage with the community. That's what's going to make this channel grow. And it's very hard. It is. It's very hard to get people who just thought this channel was treated as a repository, a place to dump archived videos of my streams, and then I left. And that was it. Now it's completely different. But it takes a while. It took me at least 1 to 2 years on Twitch to build up my Twitch channel to the point where it was like really happening and kick in, and now I had like a good amount of subs that were auto-renewing and everything was good. It took a while. And I've only been here doing it for for a year. So I suspect it's going to take another year or two of building up this channel before we can get kind of even similar to the level that I was on Twitch. Okay? Did Twitch have better monetization than YouTube? For the most part, no. Just being honest. The monetization options that are on Twitch, it's nice that they're there and they're kind of right in your face and easy to use. But actually, Twitch took more of a cut of everything than YouTube does. And basically, the only advantage that I can really think of that Twitch had is that, number one, if you already were a member of Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription every month, right? Twitch Prime. So a lot of people were doing that, and if you were their big guy who was streaming and they liked you the most, you would get the free sub. Or the other flip side of that is definitely the gifted subs over there. That there's people who are, they're very generous, they want to help out not only the content creator but the community at large, and so they just say, I'm going to drop a sub bomb of 10 subs, 20 subs, and there'd be a lot of people who would do that and be very generous, and it would help the content creator as well as everyone on the stream. And you still can't do that here on YouTube, you know? So there's definitely things missing. One of the things that a lot of people complain about is that here on YouTube, if you get a membership, which is the equivalent of the sub on Twitch, you can't use those emotes on other people's chats. So if you're watching my stream and you become a member, thank you, by the way, for that support, over 400 people who've done it. But then, oh, I want to go to someone else's stream who streams on YouTube and I want to use Phil's emotes. You can't do it. You can only use it on your own existing channel. That's it. So a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people wish that that was a better system. Okay? Anyway, we will talk a lot about this during the 1-year Return to YouTube anniversary event coming in 2 weeks, okay? So let's get hyped for that, all right? So we got a lot of hype stuff coming up. Tomorrow we got the Millennia boss fight, and that's going to spill into Monday if I don't beat her, or it's not. It's the end game of Elden Ring. Next weekend, we're probably going to have the review of Elden Ring, and on the weekend after that, we got the 1-year anniversary event. So pretty cool. A lot of good stuff all lined up happening in the next few weeks that should be pretty exciting. You know, plus, of course, regular gameplay, new playthroughs coming, all this new stuff coming up. Excellent. Okay. I think I've covered everything. We don't need to talk about memberships or whatever because we're going to start talking about that tomorrow when the new month hits. I'm just trying to think, are there any other odds and ends or anything that I'd like to cover before we move into shout-outs? Man, I'm just trying to think. I feel like maybe there was one thing I wanted to talk about, but it's not really coming to mind, and if it ain't coming to mind, it's probably not that important. All right? So, let's do some shout-outs, shall we? Okay. We'll start off with the YouTube side of things. Let me make sure that I've refreshed here. Looks like we start off with Pausen, who became a member for 3 months. 3-month re-upping of the membership. Thank you to Pausen for the ongoing support. I really appreciate that. And everyone who's a member, thank you. But in particular, Pausen, who renewed this morning. Kyle Denson did a super chat. And Kyle, I hate to say this, this is not good. Guess what happened? You did a super chat with a big message, but what you did is you put, I believe, one of the emotes in it, like you said, thoughts and a thought bubble, and then a big paragraph. I saw it when it popped up in the chat, and it scrolled off the screen, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'll get to that later. Guess what? Because you put the thought bubble, it glitches out Streamlabs, and now your message is gone. All it says is thoughts. So I actually can't see your message, Kyle. If you can retype that message in the stream chat and tag me with it, I don't want you to re-cheer, or excuse me, re-super chat. That wouldn't be fair. If you could re-tag me with the same message, I will respond. I'm sorry it cut off. It's stupid. Anyway, Kyle, you are the first super chatter of the day. Let's get you on the leaderboard here. Oops. I know, you're like, oh, this will be cool. I'll put an emote into my message. It'll be something special. And then freaking my queue for messages cuts it off and erases your whole message. How nice, right? How dare you try to do something cool? All right. Well, let's move on to tips side stuff while I wait for that. So Meow had tipped me $1.50, stating that they had made a song for me. And then they tipped me another $1.50 saying, well, I emailed you. I'll have to take a look at that later. I know for a fact it's not in my mailbox right now, but it's likely in my spam folder. I'll give it a look, and thank you for that. Rianne Johnson. Gee, I never heard that name before. Rianne Johnson to me $4.20 and says, I disagree with you that Finn's storyline in The Last Jedi is pointless. It gives needed context and background to the Star Wars universe, which ties in neatly with the overall thematic arc of the film. No, it doesn't. If you completely delete Finn's plotline from the movie, literally the movie continues fine, and it doesn't matter at all. Like, it's kind of hilariously bad how they realized this character they'd built up to be important in the first movie. And in the second movie, they were like, well, we need him in there. Because a lot of people liked the character from the first movie, but we really had nothing for him. So let's just have him do something stupid. I equate this. Here's a wrestling equivalent. Okay? Oh, Kyle said, thoughts on Sonic Origins. It's controversial, confusing paywall to buy the game. Okay, we'll talk about that, Kyle. Awesome. Thank you for the super chat. So, a lot of people liked Finn in the first movie, all right? But then in the second movie, they wanted to have him, but I equate it to this. If you ever watch pro wrestling, okay, in recent years, they have something it's called the 24/7 title. It's a complete waste of time. It's not a title that means anything. It's something that they do for comedic relief and or if they don't have anything for particular wrestlers to do on a certain show, but they still want them to get some exposure, they have them running around fighting each other for this championship. The rules of this championship are as follows. Here's how stupid this is. The 24/7 title is up for grabs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If at any time you find someone who has the title, you beat them up, you pin them, and now you're the new 24/7 champion. It's incredibly stupid, and it's a waste of everyone's time. Everyone hates the idea, yet they keep doing it because Vince McMahon, the owner of WWE, thinks it's funny and won't listen to anyone telling him it's incredibly dumb. Stop doing it. He's been doing it for years and years, and he will not listen. All right? So, imagine you had a bunch of wrestlers. I got nothing for them. People like these wrestlers, but we got nothing for them this week. Have them run out and do a big chaotic brawl like a bunch of idiots. Everyone pins each other. Oh, I'm the new champion. Oh, I got knocked out. Oh, now I'm the new champion. Oh, shit. Now I'm the new champion. And some nights you'll have 5 new champions. And then it goes back to the original person who started with it. And then they all run away. And the whole segment's pointless. Everyone's left scratching their heads like, what the fuck was that I just saw? It has no bearing on the rest of the show. It has nothing to do with anything. It's completely unimportant. You could be taking a shit, miss the segment, come back, and you miss nothing. That's Finn in The Last Jedi. You could literally leave the room or theater when his segments appear, come back and watch the rest of the movie, and the movie makes sense. It's pigeonholed in to have the character do something because people like the character, but they just had nothing for him anymore. They ruined the character. If you actually watch The Force Awakens, and you follow the plot line, you can tell the original intention for Finn was that he was going to be the second protagonist. It was going to be Finn and Rey, and they were going to have 2 completely different sides of a story. Rey was meant to be the Jedi, Finn was meant to be the Han Solo type character, and they were going to have that. And then all of a sudden, Rian Johnson says, oh, fuck that, I'm changing it all. I don't think that he's important. Demote him to a fucking comic relief joke character that doesn't really do anything. It was really bad. And I've never seen the third movie. From what people have told me, he doesn't get any better. Like, basically, he shouldn't even exist. Like, they should have just erased him or had him killed off or something. So, that's stupid. Anyway, there you go. Malcolm tipped $1.50. He said, may the 4th be with you. Thank you, Malcolm. You're a little early with that, but I appreciate the tip. Okay? And so now, let's get back to what Kyle said. So Kyle said, what are my thoughts on Sonic Origins and its ridiculously confusing paywall system when you buy it? So for those who don't know, oh my God, excuse me. Excuse me. For those who don't know, Sonic Origins is coming out. What is Sonic Origins? I'll tell you. Hold on, because I want to find the date that it's coming out. It's coming out on June 23rd, all right? It is a modern collection of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and a combination of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is Sonic and Knuckles, basically, all right? So it's all 4 first games together. But what they've done is they redid the games with better graphics. They redid them with new modernizations and added new things to them to make them feel fresh and new, okay? And they're selling this as a collection. And the thing that's confusing about this collection is that they're selling all these different versions of it, and no one can make heads or tails of, like, what's the better version or how you should buy it. I'll give you an example here. If you just buy the base version, it's just the games. But then there's a version you can buy that has an animated title screen. Huh? What? You pay more for an animated title screen? Have you ever heard of a game that you pay extra for menu features? I haven't. This is a first. Pretty confusing. And it's weird. There's like all these different tiers you can buy of the game. And each one is more confusing. What you get, what you don't get. It's actually so complex that most people don't even understand it. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to wait for the game to actually be listed digitally, and then they're going to choose the version that they want, but you might end up buying the wrong version and not getting the features you want. For me, like, what I'll do, I'll look at the base version, whatever's the cheapest, and then I'll look at whatever's the most expensive. All right? And I'll look at the two prices, and I'll say, does the most expensive price tag justify the extra things you're going to get? And if the answer is no, I'm just going to buy the base version. I don't care. But I don't know what's actually coming with the big deluxe version. It's probably not going to be worth it, you know. I played Sonic 1 and 2 on the Genesis Mini a couple years ago, which was very fun, by the way. Sonic 2 is my favorite Sonic game of all time. This collection sounds really good, and I definitely would like to play through them again, especially because, again, it's supposed to be modernized graphics and new things that they've added to it. So I'm excited for that. And also, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, oh my god, I haven't played those games in a million years. Those are the ones that added the force shields. One of them is like, oh, it's electricity, gives you an extra hit and it sucks the rings in. One was like a double jump. Those are cool. That actually adds a lot of new element to the game and exploration that you don't get in the previous games. So I'm excited for that. And I hope that it's good. It's by the same team who made Sonic Mania, and they did an insanely good job. So you have to think that this will be a good game. Okay? Okay, let's do some shout-outs for more Super Chats that came in. Metal Snake has done a series of Super Chats. Thank you for all of these, Metal Snake. His third one, he says, are you ready for Stranger Things Season 4? Well, first of all, isn't it a little weird? Stranger Things Season 4, aren't the kids like 27 now or something? Like, how old are they? That series started, what, a decade ago or something like that? Right? At this point, I'm really having a hard time believing that it's going to be the same kind of a show, because I don't think they're kids anymore. They should be teenagers at least, right? At least older teenagers, if not in their early 20s, right? But man, you want to talk about downtime? That was a lot of downtime between season 3 and now. That was what, 2.5, 3 years, something crazy like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it, but I'm on Netflix, so I can't watch it unless I get Netflix back. That was actually one of the few things that I actually did watch on Netflix when I had it. I would watch, you know, Stranger Things, and then what else did I watch? I can't even remember. Every once in a while I would watch a random show, but it was nothing special, you know. Oh, they're 45 years old now. That makes a lot more sense. There you go. They all have families. They're locked into dead-end jobs. 3 or 4 kids each. They're all, you know, midlife crises. Stranger Things. It's actually a good title. Anyway. So, I mean, yeah, I'm interested in it. I liked the first 3 seasons. So, absolutely, I like it. I'm curious where the hell they're going to go with this plot, because, honestly, the plot of season 3, like, I liked the show, but the overall plot was, like, by the end, it was like, geez, this is really going off the rails. And I wonder what's going to happen here. So, I don't know. Hopefully it'll be as good as the first 3 seasons, you know. These shows, when they tend to go on for so long, they end up not being as good the longer they go on. So I guess we'll see. Maybe this will be the 4th and final season. It'll be really good. I don't know. They haven't really said that, though. They're probably going to keep milking it for another 20 years. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Thank you for the Super Chats. What was it? Metal... Hold on. No, I didn't put him on the leaderboard because I'm stupid. Metal Snake 5500. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Oh, I put you on the leaderboard. I didn't even realize I did it. Wow, I did it completely unconsciously. That's pretty neat that I did it, though. Ted Bundy. Name sounds familiar somehow. Ted Bundy tipped me $6.66 and says, I saw you driving a bulletproof Rolls-Royce Phantom. Is it true you're a secret millionaire? No, if I was a secret millionaire, I would not be driving my own bulletproof Rolls-Royce. I would have someone do it for me. I would pay them to do it. So there you go. Ah. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I will open up to the chat now to Q&A. If anyone else contributes, I'll give you a shout out as well. But we'll do a little bit of Q&A. If we end up ending early, that's fine. I don't have anything else to really talk about on the pre-stream today. So, here we go. What do you guys want to talk about, if anything? If not, you know, I'll probably use the restroom and then we'll get started here. Gray Fox shouting out all his favorite chatters, including Kevin Bernstein, D-Man Games, Zen Shuriken, Metal Snake, Gianna Michaels, and Malcolm. There you go. Oh. If viewership wasn't an issue, would I play more visual novels? Oh, man. Anso Kamaru asked that, by the way. Well, let's examine visual novels. What visual novels have I played? The most notable mainstream ones are Danganronpa series and Phoenix Wright series, right? You could argue both of those are visual novels. Outside of that, have I played any more? I want to say yes, but I can't remember them. So I'm thinking if I did play other visual novels, likely they're much less prominent than those two series. In regards to those series, they're both kind of investigation games, right? They're both incredibly wordy, so much dialogue, right? So much content when it comes to those games. The length, oh god, right? Super lengthy games. Do I enjoy playing the visual novels? Yes, I actually do. I think that they're fun games. I think that their plots are quite original and interesting. They keep you guessing. Although Danganronpa, there's always some really ridiculous ending that's kind of weird and I'll admit kind of shitty. Sometimes they feel like a cop-out. Like Danganronpa 3 doesn't even really have a formal ending. It's just like, oh, okay, so something happened and the game just ends and you don't even know actually how what the resolution is. They don't give you one. Like, oh, great, you're supposed to guess what happened, right? I like them. Phoenix Wright, some of those things are really fun, and some are absolutely ridiculous, right? Some are absolutely positively ridiculous. Some of the ways you're supposed to figure out how to solve a mystery based on some of the most cryptic things you've ever seen in a game. But still very entertaining, okay? I have a couple issues with the visual novels I've played, all right? Number one, a lot of them don't have full voice acting. And when they don't have full voice acting, I have to read the text. You might say, why? Because that's gameplay. If I'm not reading the text, what am I going to say? Okay. Okay. What's the point? I need to read it. Or else what am I doing? Right? So if there's no dialogue recorded, right? It could be a lot of reading. A lot of reading. Okay? In particular, with Phoenix Wright, the first time I played a Phoenix Wright game, there was so much reading, I lost my voice. I remember. It was a time of year when I was playing it and I was talking so much on these sessions, these gameplay sessions. I legit, my throat swelled up and I lost my voice for like a week. And I sucked because I couldn't make content, or the content I made sounded terrible. And after that, what I basically decided to do is I had to pace myself and make it so that if I was going to play an Ace Attorney game, I couldn't just play that. I would have to balance it with other stuff, so that way I wouldn't lose my voice doing it nonstop. The Danganronpa games are kind of a mix, because there is a lot of voice acting in Danganronpa, but not always. The courtroom scenes usually have full voice acting, but when you're just going around the schools or buildings and exploring, there's none. And now you end up having to read everything. You see? I like them, but my strongest criticism, okay, is that they really, in these games, always pad the games. And I think what it is they feel like, because this is a visual novel, it doesn't have a lot of, like, gameplay. So what they want to do is they want you to feel like you're getting your money's worth. So if you pay $60 for a new Ace Attorney game, and you get 60 to 80 gameplay hours out of it, but in reality, you're only playing the game for 10, right? Because the courtroom stuff is just you're picking options or dialogue or whatever. They feel like they want to give you more bang for your buck, but damn, there's a lot of padding in those games. There is. There's been times I did an entire stream where it felt like nothing happened. 3 hours and no development at all in the games. Okay? So, if you're wondering why I don't play more visual novels, there's a couple reasons. The first is, yes, the insane amount of reading that I have to do when I play them. That's number one. Number two would be the length. Last year, I played Danganronpa V3, and that playthrough lasted, I think I want to say, like 4 months. you know. Now I wasn't playing it every day. I was playing it as chill night streams, but still, like, they're so lengthy. They take forever to get through. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, if I'm going to do a visual novel, I try to make it so that it's a special playthrough event, and it's something that it doesn't take away from everything else I'm doing. I can balance it with everything else. And it's something that I know I'm going to need to play for a lengthier period of time. That's why you haven't seen me play that many. You know, I did Danganronpa 1, and everyone wanted Danganronpa 2 right away, so I did it, and then I kind of got burnt out. And I remember at one point, I think I did do a Ace Attorney game in there. And then the last one I did was last year was Danganronpa V3. Quite frankly, I don't even know what the next visual novel is that I would want to play. Because of the style that they are, how lengthy they are, how drawn out they are, how there's so much dialogue. There's definitely a vibe that you get when you play them. All right? But my feeling is like, it's something that I want to do only every once in a while sparingly. It's definitely something that kind of, it takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot of time to get through. So, would I consider doing it again? Yes. Would it be anytime soon? Probably not. Just being honest. By the way, I'm not kidding. I think there's a skunk outside that sprayed. My whole room smells like a skunk. Oh my god. Yo, that is stinky. Whew. Holy crap, holy. Damn. My office is super stinky. Damn, man. There absolutely must have been a skunk outside that sprayed. I don't know why. I've actually never seen a wild skunk around here. I'm sure they exist. But dang, that's stinky. Woo! Long forgotten socks. I don't think socks smell that strong. I don't think so. Okay. Pizza Girl asked, am I going to play the Cuphead DLC? Yes, the delicious last course. I will be playing it. I've been waiting how many years for it. I definitely want to play it. It'll be something good to return to as well, I feel, for variety purposes. I wish... See, someone says, is someone smoking the good stuff? No. There's no smoke out there. And it doesn't smell like... Like, you can tell the difference between weed and a real skunk. This is, like, ripe. Maybe I sharded? No, my shit does not smell like that. My shit stinks bad, but it doesn't smell like that. What's the plans for the summer? The plans for the summer is retro stuff for sure. My ideas for the summer are Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, or a combination of those. Now, the thing is, I don't know how those games are available. I don't know if I re-up my subscription to Nintendo Online or Switch Online or whatever they call it, if some of those are available on the Switch. I do know that Earthbound is available, of all things, on the SNES Mini, which is impossible to get. So that's not really helpful. And I don't know. I think at one point it was available on the Wii U Virtual Console, but I don't think the Wii U Virtual Console exists anymore, right? Didn't they discontinue it? So if I turned on my Wii U and put it on the internet right now, there's no store, right? I'm pretty sure they disconnected it, right? So I don't know how I would play some of them. Yeah, I'd have to figure it out. We'd have to actually reconvene, I guess, in the summer and talk a bit about this and try to figure this out. Okay. Pirate Kings, is there a reason why I keep forcing pre-stream to be 90 minutes? It feels like endless yapping. Hey, the pre-stream can end whenever you guys want. If you guys want me to end it right now, we'll end it right now. But people tag me and ask me questions, so I answer them. What do you want me to do? Ignore my audience? Very much the pre-stream length is in your control. It always has been. Once I get through the stuff that I want to talk about, you know, it'll be as long or as short as you'd like. Some people actually attend the pre-stream just for the pre-stream. They're not here because they want to watch the gameplay today. They're here to chill with me on the pre-stream, and then when Lego boots up, they'll dip. You know, they're out of here. Pinocchio says the Q&A is good. I like it. Nico says they like the pre-stream. Kevin likes the pre-stream. Now Pirate King says I was kind of getting at the schedule taking a long time. Sorry for sounding like an ass. No, I'll agree there. It's real. If there's a day when I don't have a ton to talk about on pre-stream, and people, I say, okay, let's do Q&A, and then you get the same question 10 times, or you get the same question that's been asked in the last week 3 times. Yeah, it's frustrating. Because I guess what it is, people aren't on every stream, they don't watch every video, then they come and they want to ask their question, like, yeah, but I just answered that, right? I understand that. No, I never watched Rise of Skywalker. I'm not going to. We're just going to play the game. What are we going to eat tonight for dinner? I think tonight we're doing turkey burgers and a pasta salad. One of those ones that you make yourself. You boil the pasta, and there's like a mix you put in it. I think that's what we're having tonight. Venom Snake, good to see you. Glad to hear it. He says he's ready to enjoy the stream. Do I think I'll finish Elden Ring by this week? As long as Millennia doesn't take insane, exorbitant amounts of time to beat, yeah. Because after Millennia, there's one dungeon, and that dungeon will take anywhere from 1 to 2 streams to beat, and then it's just the final bosses. That's the end of the game, supposedly. I've done all the meaningful content now. I've completed all the NPC quest lines to get the endings. So I'm good to go, essentially. I just need to beat Millennia, and then we're into the home stretch. So it really depends on how long it takes me to beat her. Oh, let's see here. An anonymous tipper tipped me $1.49. It says, you must play Disco Elysium. It's a detective and mystery RPG. It has an amazing art style and incredible story. It uses dialogue trees and skills to make progress through the plot with full voiceovers. It won Game of the Year awards 2 years ago. Perfect fit for the night streams. I've seen it on Game Pass. And I've brought it up multiple times, and people were of the impression that, you know, some people were like, oh yeah, play it, and others were like, nah, don't play that one. I don't know. Walking Paranoia says the Wii U and 3DS eShops will not close until March 2023. Earthbound and A Link to the Past are both on Nintendo Switch Online. Oh! What about Chrono Trigger? Because honestly, that's the one I'm most inclined to play. I love Chrono Trigger, and I've always wanted to do like an interactive stream of it. I did play it many years ago, but that was before I was doing interactive stuff on my stream. This time would be a fully interactive stream with likely multiple endings and stuff too. Thank you for telling me, Walking Paranoia. It just sucks those games are going to be like lost forever, right? Unless you find another way to buy them and play them. No, I don't know anything about a 13 Sentinels game. I'm being told that apparently it's a visual novel. Yeah, Pirate King, I skipped Wonderful 101 many years ago on Wii U. And now I guess it got ported to PS4. He says he's playing it right now. Hall Veteran asks, should Disney have kept making the Force Unleashed games and kept them canon rather than making the new Jedi game or make them both canon? I like the Force Unleashed 1. I thought the Force Unleashed 2 wasn't as good, actually. It felt kind of like they just wanted to make an obligatory sequel, but they didn't really know what to do with it. It didn't feel as momentous or interesting as the first game. And after that one, they just dumped the whole franchise, I think maybe appropriately. I don't know how the sales did. But I liked Force Unleashed 1 a lot. I liked the premise. People Person says, game announcements I'm looking forward to. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Talos Principle 2, and Modern Warfare 2. I don't know about this Resident Evil 4 Remake, man. I just played it in January, the original. Well, it was the better graphics version, and I'm like, how much more are they going to do with it? It doesn't play like an outdated game very much. Maybe a little bit could be tweaked, but it kind of is the game that started the modern Resident Evil, well, I should say the over-the-shoulder third-person Resident Evil games. And I don't really know what else they could do with that to modernize it. Unless they're actually redesigning the game from the ground up like they did with, say, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Maybe that'd be interesting. I don't know. Any upcoming games I'm looking forward to? Seems underwhelming so far after February. Says only Fear of Death. Because it is. Like, just to give you an example, about a week and a half ago, I updated my game release schedule. We got Trek to Yomi on May 5th. Evil Dead the Game May 13th. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, May 19th, although I don't know if I'm playing that one. Sniper Elite 5 on May 26th. House of the Dead Remake on May 26th. Pac-Man Museum Plus on May 27th. Mario Strikers Battle League June 10th. The Quarry June 10th. Sonic Origins June 23rd. Capcom Fighting Collection June 24th. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes on the 24th. Cuphead the Delicious Last Course on June 30th, 2 Point Campus on August 9th, Saints Row on August 23rd, Splatoon 3 on September 9th, Warhammer 40k Dark Tide September 13th, Forspoken on October 11th, Gotham Knights on October 25th, Starfield on November 10th, and Stalker 2 on December 8th. That's the whole year. That's the actual whole year of game releases. No other games, major games I should say, have a release date. So you sit here like, what's coming out? I don't even know. You know? But we're gonna get answers in the next 1 to 2 months. You know there's gonna be all these digital events that are gonna happen and announce all these games. So. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it now. Let's end the pre-stream. I gotta use the restroom before we start, so let's take a very brief break, a few minutes. And I'll be right back and we'll go Lego Star Wars, Skywalker Saga, and we're continuing on with The Force Awakens. Chill fun. I like actually talking about the plot of Star Wars with you guys when I play these games, alright? Now, one final thing. I waited to the end of the pre-stream to mention this. The last 3 days, not 1 day, not 2 days, my last 3 streaming days, support has been slow. And what I mean by that is we have not hit a tier 2 tips goal at all. I haven't even seen a hat in 6 streams. If it was 1 or 2 streams, okay. If it was 1 or 2 days, all right. It's been now 6. That's pretty concerning. All right. And you might say, well, tomorrow's Elden Ring. Don't worry, they'll be hype. Last time I played Elden Ring, it was the lowest supported Elden Ring stream I've ever done. It was during the last 6 streams. You see what I'm saying? So please, if you guys like the chill content, you support it, you like the fun we have on stream, please support it today. I really need like a rallying today of help if possible. All right. All right. Let's go on break, and I'll be back with Lego.